Hey, welcome, one and all, young and old, in here, out there, everywhere, too. Teletran Creatorverse. I'm your host, Alfonso Peterman. We have officially entered the final 3 months leading up to the next Transformers live action installment, Rise of the Beasts. And as we move closer, the momentum in marketing is only going to grow busier. So I surely hope you guys are ready to strap in and you're ready for the ride as I am. Well, my guest tonight is an actor, writer, director, and award winning producer who has collaborated with DreamWorks Pictures, Funny or Die, and Dawn's Light Media, and even launched a production company of his own. And now he officially joins the cast for the upcoming film Transformers Rise of the Beast this summer. It is my utmost pleasure to welcome, for the first time, Mr. Jason Avalos. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Alfonso. Thank you, guys. I'm excited to be here. Excited to
Oh
be
yeah.
here.
Oh yeah. It's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for spending some time with us tonight as we ride the hype train towards the release of this film. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. We're just all on the train, man. I'm
That's
I'm on the
it.
train with you. So
Awesome. Awesome. How have you been, managing yourself, and how does it feel knowing that most of the production work is over and the world is about to see the masterpiece that you guys have been working on?
it feels all the feels. It feels all the feels. Because well, for me, look, this is my first like major kind of blockbuster movie. I have been in like indie movies for like a decade doing small stuff that people, it's hard to tell them how to even see some of that stuff. And so it's like sometimes people call you like, hey, where can I see you? I'm like, yeah, you're gonna need to go here to Amazon and then take a left. So like it's nice to be like, yo, you can go see me in 3D with all these great with this great cast and this fun movie. So it feels great. I mean, it feels exciting, and obviously like I grew up with Transformers, so it's really special to my heart.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Just like most of us, the fans, we grew up with this, and this is the first big push, since, for quite a while for a lot of us. So it's really exciting that we're starting to get that momentum going again. Um,
Definitely.
Yeah, I would like to start with just learning more about like your journey as an actor and a writer. Tell me a little bit more about what started this career for you and what led you to this moment.
I mean, I started off as an actor. I have kind of was like a theater actor, and I was like a childhood actor in Hollywood. And then I took a step back. There weren't enough roles for Latinos, as we do know, for Black and Latinos, Asian. It's starting to change now, but I think that I early on saw that and took a step back and started writing, and I was like, wow, well, there's not enough exciting parts for us, and so I decided to try to pick up the pen and start writing some stories that I thought we would want to see. Then it's just this crazy, very crazy roller coaster ride of balancing the writing and the acting, and you never know what's kind of going to be in front of you every month. So um that's really taken me all the way up until a couple years ago, when we right before the pandemic, we started a production company that is it is Latino focused, but it's mostly inclusive, and it's we're telling a lot of different types of stories in the BIPOC space. And because I love and I grew up with movies like Transformers, I am actually focusing on like kind of bigger spectacle genre, just films where I wish and want us to be in the leads. You know what I mean? So we're more than just the simple stories of our families. We can party with the robots. You know what I mean? We can do everything. So I'm focusing on sharing those types of stories and connecting with those types of audiences.
Fantastic. So basically, in other words, there's more to you than meets the eye. Is that
Oh my god,
accurate?
that is very accurate. That is.
I just had to make sure that was an accurate depiction of okay.
You were not decepted by that. You were not decepted at all.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, you did mention that production company, and that was my next question. You also launched your own production as Schoolhouse Pictures. Tell people a little bit more about what you guys do in that production company, like more of like the day to day, and what like the takeaway is for someone who doesn't know about it.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I think what I want people to know, I think, is that the moment you go from like a creator to like say a production company, it does sound big and almost a little overwhelming, but really you're just it's kind of like I'm just making more room for more of us to come and sit at a table, and I'm like setting that table for more people. And so I think it's an exciting responsibility, and it's a challenging one. And what we're doing in Schoolhouse is we are doing a little bit of everything, but we're mostly in the genres of horror, sci-fi, fantasy, and then some comedy. We have a feature film coming out called Through the Rents, which is a action thriller starring an all Latin cast of people that your audience probably will know. And so we're gonna share more about that in the months to come. And then there's gonna be a comic book to go along with that, so that we can bring our fans into the story even more, and they can get to know those characters in all these cool ways. So we're getting ready to launch a lot of those pieces. We just started a YouTube channel, which if you guys are, we're watching this, Schoolhouse Pictures, and we're going to have a lot of educational stuff on there too, that I actually want to help people who are YouTube creators and people who are TikTok creators who have fan bases. And I want to empower people to try to make their own, whatever it may be, whether it's a short film, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's your next Transformers, reboot, whatever it is. I want to help bridge those pieces of information for up and coming people.
That's incredible. That's incredible. That's gonna definitely. You already have a lot of great people that would be like candidates for that type of focus. Like in the creator community, and regardless of what genre it is, at this point, have a lot of people to be able to participate in that. So that's definitely something that can really grow into something beyond what you probably even envision now. That's awesome.
Oh, it definitely. I have no idea, really. I mean, frankly.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, cool. I have to know, just, as a professional, you've officially joined the cast lineup for this film, but as an individual, would you consider yourself a Transformers fan? And do you have any, like, personal affiliation with the franchise? If so, I would love to hear it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a freak. I'm a fan. So just so we all are clear, I'm a fan. I didn't. I wasn't. I know sometimes you watch a movie and they go, "Oh, I've never heard of it. I don't even know what Harry Potter was."
Right?
Like, yeah, like I am. I knew what it was. I know what it is, and I've watched the journey of the franchise. And I mean, there's a couple. There's a couple that are not as good as the other ones. And so there's always that. But this one, for me personally, and maybe I'm going off tangent, but for me personally, this one is as close to the way I grew up, like 80s, 90s Transformers. It's as close to that, minus Beast Wars storyline, but like the vibe, the retro, the energy, the comedy also. And the way the characters are made, Stephen Kaplan's like amazing team of visual effects guys, the design, it's as close to the 80s 90s stuff as I've seen yet. So for me, the retro babies, I'm like, yes.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be like a love letter to those who felt like they haven't gotten it since, '07. So that's going to be good for them.
It's really gonna be a love letter to that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. In your like portfolio of work, I've noticed that you have a pretty diverse set of categories that you've gotten exposure for, from like darker categories like drama and horror to like lighter categories like comedy, and in this case, action. How was your involvement? How has your involvement with Transformers contrasted from other roles? Has anything about this project stood out to you more from your experience?
Yeah, well, it's a lot different in a way that it's a bigger party. You know what I mean? So, but what is interesting is that it's it's so big that you don't really I don't think you fully get it until like I don't even know if I fully understand it until I watch it. And that's what I think people that's what I think the fun part is like you go and I do a job and I kind of like I'm there to do that one purpose. And on that day it was pickups and they had already shot a lot of this stuff in the different parts of the world. So it wasn't like hundreds and hundreds of people there on set. It was a kind of a small intimate set, at least smaller than I thought it would be. That was interesting to me. So it felt like an indie set in a way, and although I know it wasn't, you know what I mean. And so I think that's what's interesting, when you're acting, is just that it doesn't matter how big or small the job is. Your task is to do your task, and that kind of keeps me honest, because it can get so big that you can kind of lose what you're doing because it's so fantastical. So it's nice to just be like, okay, that's crazy, but I'm here to like talk to this guy. Here to talk to Anthony Ramos about this little moment, and I gotta just sit there with him, because if I think about how big it is, I kind of it's a little much.
Yeah, it can get a little intimidating, but
Yeah,
gotta
definitely,
stay
definitely.
focused on that project. Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually leads me into my next question. So we're flowing perfectly here. I mean, this
Okay,
is
good,
great.
good, good, good.
This summer, obviously, you will be joining the cast of Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. And according to like online databases, your role is going to be the security guard. And I would have to assume, just from my own conclusion, based on marketing that has been released so far, that you're probably going to be in that infamous museum security guard where a lot of action might kick off. That's just my own presumption.
Okay.
What I want to know is tell me what it was like when you learned that you would be joining the cast for this film, if you don't mind sharing, like, how that experience played out and what went through your head at the time.
Oh man, I can tell you it's kind of a cool story, because I was in El Salvador. First, I was in El Salvador for the audition, and I was traveling with my family, and I had got the email from my agent saying, "Hey, they need to see you. It's a super fast thing." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not home. I don't have any of my stuff." And so then, I quickly like did it in the hotel. I went to like the mall. I bought a shirt because I didn't have like even wardrobe for that. So I bought a shirt. I mean, I really just again, you never know when duty calls or whatever. So like, you go, and I was like ready to rock and roll that morning, sent in the tape, and then like, within a day or two, they got back to me and said, yeah, like you're it. We're gonna shoot in like a week or two. So it was super fast. Um, I lost my mind. I mean, I lost my mind. I was like, I lost my mind. Okay, that's the facts. It was too crazy to even conceive. There was other parts of it that were like very small but special to me. That so Stephen Kaplan, the director, directed Creed 2, which Creed 3 is now out. And I actually had been listening to the Creed soundtrack at the gym at all year. That was one of my go-to. It's like Rocky, so you're in there working out,
Wow.
and I kind of was like manifesting, like working with these guys. All of a sudden, I blink, and here I am. I'm like, hanging out with the director of Creed 2, and he's gonna direct me, and I'm just like, wow, what? Like that was surreal.
Very cool, yeah, and I know you've gotten a chance to work under the direction of Stephen Kaplan and made and probably crossed paths maybe with Michael Bay, who knows, who's also producing this. And what I want to know is what was it like working under the director and even Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback behind the scenes? What was that like?
It was amazing. It was super low key, and I'll say that they're super easy guys to work with. Anthony Ramos and Steven, I got a chance to work with both of them, and I felt very safe, and like I walked on that set feeling like, oh, I've never worked on such a big thing. And when you're working with brown and black people who are the heads of their departments and they're masters of their craft, you walk on that set and you don't have to tippy toe like I have before in other situations. And so that in itself was very freeing for me, because I was like, oh, like I'm safe here to do the work, and like these guys get what I'm going through and they're going to protect me. So there was this immediate like let's go kind of energy with that, and that is important. And it's something that I probably want more of. So it was super easy to work with those guys. Anthony is literally the nicest guy ever. He's exactly what you think. He's always smiling, he's laughing, he's, having a free spirit while he's creating. We're going back and forth. There's banter. We throw out some ideas, with Steven, and then make it happen. And so, yeah, it was really fun to work with those guys. I mean, they're just
Mhm.
they're just solid. They're just solid.
I believe it. I believe it. We see it consistently from, some behind the scenes, footage of them working, and even from their connection with each other in interviews. We can definitely see that chemistry. And that's very important what you say when you're able to walk on set and just have that nonverbal comfort, knowing that you can, that like the those that are like above you can understand you. You can get the work done, and that I haven't worked on a movie set, but I can imagine just from a workplace standpoint how much of a difference that makes in the performance that you guys do. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a small thing, but if you can make people feel a little safer, then they're gonna do their job better. It's just like
Yep.
that's the vibe.
Yep, I can totally see that. And I know that this upcoming Transformers film is not only going to be really exciting, but it's also historic because this is the live action debut of the Beast Wars characters into the timeline with the Autobots and such. And your character, as will the other humans in this film, will get sort of like get like caught in the mix of the clashing rivalry of the alien species. So, to your knowledge, has there been any inspiration taken from past Transformers films and how they portrayed the relationship between humans and Transformers? Do you see any like similarities in this movie and how it will form the like man and machine relationships?
That's a good question. I think the best one to look at is Bumblebee, because this is, and you guys probably already know this anyway, but like this is a proper sequel to Bumblebee. And that's kind of what is out there, And so I think if you were to look at the relationship that, yeah, Haley Steinfeld had with Bumblebee, you would find, and it is similar in the Shia LaBeouf, some of those early things. I think it's similar to the Shia LaBeouf story. And this is, again, like literally just opinion. This isn't, but it's similar to the Shia LaBeouf relationship, his character in the original one. It is similar to, yeah, Bumblebee and Haley Steinfeld. It's that young person feeling misunderstood, and having somebody on their side to make them do great things, and like that, and then the playfulness of it, So I think that is what they've managed to pull off on this one, and taking
Nice.
Anthony Ramos now as that guy.
Nice. Very cool. Are there any fun stories or experiences working behind the scenes of the movie that stand out to you that you could share with us?
Well, yeah, I snuck a couple pics with Pete Davidson as the car, so not real Pete, but robot Pete. I got some pics with the custom car, and that was pretty cool. That was not on set, so I had to like sneak to another part of the set,
Hmm.
and I like I was like, I can't not do this. I didn't even post them. I really did them just for myself, and then
Yeah.
maybe later I'll post them and share them with you guys. But like, yeah, so that was kind of fun. Oh, and then which I cannot say what this is, but all I can say is, let's see, what can I say? I can say we're all in for like this other surprise, some crazy surprises, and I'm excited that I'm a part of that, part of those
Awesome.
surprises. That was a behind the scenes moment where I actually showed up because I didn't get the script. And so I showed up and they said, here's the script. What you did in the audition, don't do that. Let's do something else. And then what you said, don't say that, say something else. And so I was like, oh, okay, on your toes. So I was like, all right. So then I read the script for the day and was trying to memorize, and I was reading what is about to go down. And I was like, oh my God, like this is serious. Like this is not, people ain't ready for it. So it was very exciting to walk on the set, not know what to do, not know what to see, open the page and see this, story Easter egg that everybody's gonna really go crazy about.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
You don't even have to tell me what it is, but that just knowing that that teaser is literally just the icing on the cake. It's not even the
Oh
full
yeah.
slice.
No,
It's
no. Let's just
like you
I
haven't
just
even
want.
like. I love that.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
love
one. It's
that.
a good.
If we can circle back just a little bit, I just want to know like what kind of advice would you give to someone watching who might aspire to grow and evolve their personal skills to like an actor, writer, director like yourself?
Well, one simple one is, yeah, follow us over at Schoolhouse Pictures and chime in with us. Say what's up. Let us know where you're at, what you're thinking about, and if we can help, we'd love to try to be a part of that. Um, then I would also say, don't get too boggled by how you're going to be able to do all of them. Just do the one that calls to you. I almost think of it like seasons, like kind of like, is this actor season? Is this writing season? Is this throw everything at the wall season? Do it all. You direct and act in a short. Um, just kind of have fun with it and pick a little season, and know that like at the end of the day, all of it's gonna get, when the opportunity calls and you get your big show, you'll be like, whoa, I'm good because I acted just acting for a couple seasons. I just wrote for a couple seasons. I managed all of it for a couple seasons, and I'll be able to do this project because those muscles will all show up, when they're asked to. So don't get frustrated. Don't think you have to do all of that on every project, and be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
It's a that's I think the biggest thing. Be kind to yourself. It's something I'm still learning.
Yeah, yeah, we probably all are a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's good advice. I appreciate that. I do want to know, without obviously spoiling any plot details about the movie, is there anything you can, tell us about Transformers: Rise of the Beast in terms of like if you just have to describe it in 3 words, if there's any like general information that you can give us about what fans can expect coming this summer.
Oh man, 3 words for Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Yeah.
I would say it's gonna expand the universe. It's gonna
Wow.
expand the universe.
Expand. That's actually interesting.
I mean, that's
Hmm.
I'm gonna mess with you, right? Exactly. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna give you a little something to kind of chew on,
All
Expanded
right.
universe.
All right. Fantastic. Well, anything else you want to share with us? That's the end of my questions, but obviously,
You know what? I hope everybody likes it as much as I had fun, doing it. And um, come say hi. I'm on all my socials. I think we can
yes.
tag them. And yeah, come say hi. I love a Transformers fan, so I'm happy to try to connect with you guys, and that's really it. I'm excited to see it just as much as you guys are.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a roller coaster, and we've got
It'll be fun.
hopefully another trailer incoming. I don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably. Yeah, sometime we don't know when, but yeah.
Did you see that new meme vid that they did with
Oh goodness, the thirst trap almost
the
essentially.
basically a thirst trap?
They're doing
So
this.
they're doing it, and I think that's what also we're seeing, where it's like, this is what happens when you make a kind of inclusive, like, BIPOC Transformers, where you have a little more fun, you know what I mean, like, and it's like, we're a little more out there, so it's
Yeah.
it's cool. Of
Well, cool. I want to thank you again for being here, and we're really
course.
excited for this movie. We can't wait to join the battle this summer. And it's going to be really exciting to see you as the security guard. Make your debut with
Make that
Transformers.
debut. Yes,
That's
it's gonna
it.
be exciting. That's it, man.
You guys can catch him this summer, Jason Avalos, as a security guard in Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And that film will be hitting theaters June 9th, 2023. You can also find him on his socials and also the production company, the Schoolhouse Pictures. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Transformers Rise of the Beasts coming out this summer. Stay tuned for more. And thank you all for watching. Till all are one, good night.